All right, so here's your chart. This circle in the center represents the Earth. This X represents you on Earth. And this is a map of the sky the moment you were born. And this outer circle is a map of the sky today. We're going to focus today on the center and only a few parts. We're going to look at the moon. We're going to look at your rising sign. And then we're going to see your Venus and your Mars. So just going to start from the beginning and work our way up into more and more as much as you're interested. So starting off with the moon, we get an idea about your basic set of skills that you're born naturally being a master of. So as you've seen with your own children, each one of them has their own characteristics and set of skills that when they start to develop their personality, you notice there's something about them that is inherently their own thing. So that's the moon. We look at the moon for that. For you, you have moon in Pisces, which would say that naturally empathic, sensitive to energy, universally loving, caring, compassionate. Kids with a Pisces moon would be naturally concerned with how people feel, how animals feel. They care, they're genuinely caring and loving about emotions, and they're in tune. So a Pisces moon kid might walk in a room and be sensitive to the vibration in the room and feel like they want to help and heal because they want to feel good. They're naturally inclined to bringing some kind of a healing energy to the area that they're in. That's as a little kid. As a little kid, a Pisces moon person is going to be naturally loving, empathic, psychic even, like attuned to the invisible pulse that's in a room. And they often are wanting to help and heal. So Pisces moon, and then we're going to look at the nodes. This is the nodal axis of the moon, the north and the south node. The south node shows also about past. So that's in the 7th house. So I would call yours Libra job in the Pisces tribe. So within this, we'll talk about it like this, like tribes. So I'd like to tell it like a story. It makes it more relatable, and if you can relate to the story, I feel like it's more helpful. So you being born into the Pisces tribe, this is the tribe of lovers, healers. When I say lovers, I mean the big love, universal love, empathy, compassion for all beings. It's like the Buddhist version of love, the Bodhisattva, who's here for not just for their own sake. They are inclined to heal and help for the sake of love itself. So when I say lover in this term, I'm talking about that kind of love. So that's your tribe, that you're born into this tribe. They're psychically sensitive to energy. And they naturally want to help and heal on a big planetary scale, not just, their own. It's not just for their own sake. Within that tribe, your specialty, having your south node in the 7th house, your specialty is being relational, meaning that within that tribe of helping, healing lovers, your specialty is relational, meaning that it cares about the whole. As if it wasn't already enough having a Pisces moon, because Pisces moon already cares about the whole. Your specialty in the 7th house is like caring about it. So both of these things are very much about the other. It's very selfless. Pisces and Libra both are, it's about caring about other people first and foremost. Libra job in the Pisces tribe, you'll put yourself behind the needs of the collective, of the group, whatever that group is for you and the time and setting. And as looking at it from a early life perspective, it would be for the group of your family. Like you would care more about, you don't even think about yourself really. And as we evolve, we move into doing more of the North Node and the rising sign. So I'm kind of brushing past the South Node and the Moon a little bit, because the whole 30 minutes could be spent talking about that. But I'm gonna move forward just to give you a synopsis, like an overall look at your astrological storyline. So moving from Libra job in the Pisces tribe, moving from that, we're going to go into what is progressive in your chart, and that is the North Node and the rising sign. What I find really interesting is that they're right next to each other. So extra emphasis on this part of your chart. Already, I feel the North Node and the rising sign are the two most important, most significant parts of the chart, because this is considered life purpose, destiny, where you're going. This is progressive. This is the hardest thing to do. Because the easy thing to do is stay in the South Node and stay in the Moon. Keep doing keep doing the Libra job in the Pisces tribe. Care about everybody else. Make sure everybody else's well-being is taken care of. Using all your power, love, and energy for the collective. So your rising sign is Scorpio. Scorpio rising is here. So we're going to continue with the story. Now you were born into this tribe of Pisces with a specialty of doing relational things. The imagery of that would be like a group of healing, loving beings. Then your specialty is the one who makes sure that everybody has what they need, everybody's being validated and heard, and it's sort of like the mediator of all those loving beings, which if you're in a group of Buddhist monks, they're all loving beings. You don't need much mediation, but that's your specialty. So it's like extra emphasis on love, care, and compassion. Now, going into the progressive part of your chart, this is the school that you signed up for. The thing that you're here to learn in this lifetime is the Scorpio mysteries. Scorpio, they're both water signs. Pisces is a water sign. It's for, it was like you would be going into the sea of consciousness, being that sea of universal love and compassion, and sharing that gift with the whole world for the sake of love and for expansion and evolution of love. With your rising sign, it's still water. It's still deep waters, but for the purpose of feeling maximum life force energy. The Scorpio mysteries are here to electrify the water. It is a tsunami of all of everything that water represents, the psychic abilities, the universal love and compassion, the empathy, but it's all electrified and intense. And Scorpio mysteries are investigating shamanism. It's investigating mysticism, the intensity of being in a human body. So all of that emotional charge. When you have a dream and you're able to sense into a deeper mystery, and then you bring that back into your day-to-day life, and you're more electrified. The Scorpio mysteries are the one mystery school that as a collective we have most rejected and pushed away. Why is that? Because it is revolving around sexuality, emotions. It's self-centered. Scorpio wants to experience the intensity of being in these physical human bodies for the sake of self-exploration. So in all of our religions, in all of our cultures, there's only a few that have valued Scorpio mysteries. One of them being the tantric path of the ancient Kashmirian culture, because they saw the value of the Scorpio mysteries. And they didn't use those words, but not only them, but the Taoist cultures also, because of understanding that electricity is in the body and our emotions and sexuality ignite that electricity. And then when we are in control of that electricity, we can funnel it to different things. We can use it to heal our bodies. We can use it to heal other people's bodies. And a lot of what I do in my work in the healing arts is cultivating my electricity in my body, connecting that with the electricity of the planet, of the sky, of the earth, and using that for creating things in my life. So that's what you're here to learn to master, the Scorpio mysteries, learning to master how you can use your electrical energy in your body to create a life that you want. But to do that, you need to be comfortable exploring those Scorpio mysteries. And a lot of people aren't. But if you have Scorpio rising, you have to. You will keep, the things will keep showing up in your life over and over. Frazzly, emotional. There's a lot that has to do with money. Scorpio rising people, they either are going to have a ton of money or they're going to have no money. And the way to have money is by learning to cultivate your energy. Energy is money. Emotions are your currency. Sexual energy is your currency. And if you're just wasting it all over the place, that's where it is. It's just dissipated. So we need to learn to cultivate that. And all the practices of Tantra, it's about that. It's not for the purpose of a mainstream tantric idea. It's for cultivating life force energy and being able to run that energy through your body for health and healing and for all beings. Okay, so Scorpio, you're here to learn to master that. Some of the things that can happen is, I know you watched the video that is titled Scorpio Rising, so I don't have to spend too much time on this in your reading. But some of the things that can happen, because whatever your rising sign is, this is what you're here to learn about. It's like you signed up for this mystery school. It's like going to university. You don't know about it. And there's going to be, you make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Some of the mistakes for this mystery school, being an energy vampire, sucking energy from people, from places, from situations, and being so scared of it that you don't want to go near it. You don't want to touch life force energy. You want to stay far away from it because you know that it's dangerous. And it is. Scorpio Mysteries, that's the most dangerous mystery school to investigate. You have to be willing to take risks to be successful in your investigation into the Scorpio Mysteries. You have to be willing to take risks. And so it's known as an edge walker. So some of the mistakes that you can make are either getting too close to the edge that you fall off and die, literally or emotionally or energetically die, or being too far away. Like, I don't want to go to the edge, so I'm going to stay way back here where it's safe. In my comfort zone, the things that I know, I'm going to stay here. But what you're being asked to do is to go up to that edge. Find your edges and cross them sometimes. You know, I know you know. So that's some of the mistakes. And then, so energy vampire, like you could be sucking energy from people. Also, people sucking energy from you. When you get more used to working your Scorpio energy, you become more electric and big and super sexy. Scorpios it's the most sexy archetype that you can connect with. And you don't have to have Scorpio, you don't have to have any of these things to be able to tune into them and do them. Especially you, since you have a Pisces moon and Scorpio rising, these are two energies that are the most mutable, meaning that you know how to put on, like if I say, let's get into Scorpio mode. When you know what that is, you can attune yourself to that vibration. Like, you know how to do that. You can play that part. So for you to be able to get into that, that's what you're here to do. Okay, so when you're doing it, when you're getting into that mode, you're more electric, you're more beautiful and vibrant. And so other people will want to tap into you and get that energy from you. So the energy vampire thing goes both ways. Like the person with Scorpio rising will tap into people, things that they know give them energy, and they'll want to take energy from that thing, that one sexual experience that makes you feel alive. You'll want to keep tapping into that because you want to feel alive and you found something and you're like, that's what I need to do. So that's taking energy from a situation. In the opposite way, when you're already, because as part of Scorpio rising, you learn to master energy, you become like a lightning rod and you're full of energy, you're vibrant and you're tantalizing and electric. And when you're in that place, people want to tap into you. So there's this going back and forth with that. Until you fully master it, nobody can fuck with you. Nobody can tap into you. When you've got your energy connected, the way that I do this for myself is connecting to the sky, imagining that there's my electricity rod. I imagine being my spine from tantric yoga practices, that I'm connecting that above and below, and I'm sourcing energy circular in this circular motion, like a torus field of energy. And nobody can get into this unless I allow them. And then it's a choice, and I allow them in, and then there's all these things that need to happen if I'm going to let somebody be in my energy field. So the next thing is the North Node. The North Node is where you're going. From the South Node, this is also, we can look at karma, past life, habits, what you've already mastered. North Node, where you're going, what you're here to master. And you can see the North Node is right next to your rising sign, which emphasizes the Scorpio mysteries. And if you're in the University of Scorpio, the North Node tells us what you're here to fully master. And for you, it's in the first house, which is like Aries. So I will call this Aries job in the Scorpio tribe. So within this school of shamans, mystics, tantrikas, which is the Scorpio mysteries, those who are learning to master life force energy, your specialty is like Aries, meaning that it's the warrior, the protector, the firefighter, the police officer, the one who is going to fiercely protect, stand up for its projects. It's standing up for whatever it is in charge of. So with this combination, as you progress in life, become very direct, very super potent, super powerful. Aries and Scorpio together is one of my personal favorite types of energy because it's very well contained, and it's like this, it's just fire. It's just this electrical, it's like water fire. One day when we were hiking, you and I and Bo said something which led me to this phrase of fire tsunami. And I was like playing with that phrase. I think I even used it in one of my poems since I've met you, a fire tsunami. So that's basically what you're here to learn to do, is being that fire tsunami of intense emotions, electricity, and knowing how to have that contained within your physical body. So just right from this point, what I would say is learning to build a container that is permeable and also able to manage fire water. Like how, if your body was a container for fire water, how would it need to be built? And what would you need to be doing to have a container to hold that? Okay, so from there, we're going to go to Venus and Mars. Let's start with Mars for you. Mars is your willpower, the way that you direct your life. This is your masculine energy, the way that you will go out into the world and project yourself This also has a lot to do with your sexual appetite, your desire. And your Mars is in Gemini. So Gemini is an archetype of the trickster, the artist, the creative muse. We're currently in Gemini season, and it's one of my favorite for playing. I love playing with this energy because it is playful, spontaneous, fun. Communication is key with Gemini, and not just one direction like communication in. It's both in and out. They want to learn, they want to explore. And so that's your masculine archetype, wanting to have this super creative, playful intelligence is another thing that goes along with Gemini Mars, wants to know everything, very curious. And sexually, some of the things about Gemini are that it is one of the Mars positions that is interested in playful sexuality. So as a Mars position, there's so many places we can go with this. It's freedom, it's expansion. It is the sign that for Mars is the most flirtatious. It's the one also that when I saw this, I get nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, this person is going to be the one who wants to have playful sexual experiences with multiple people. It doesn't mean that you will. And the reason it doesn't mean that you will is because of your moon position being in Pisces, wanting to have that empathy, love, compassion, and it needs to have building. It needs to have a safety of the foundation being love. And then also with the Scorpio rising, there is also that same need for emotional stability. So your Mars in Gemini doesn't have to express as multiple partners. It doesn't have to. But when I see it, I'm like, okay, this maybe is something that this human wants to do or wants to explore. So just saying that because that is part of your Mars archetype, is having playful sexuality. Playful and also playing with multiple partners. Okay, so the next thing is Venus. Venus is the way that you draw things to you, what you consider to be valuable, attractive. Venus for you is in Leo, and there is aesthetics with this. It's like, how does it look? It's very like the models. And I mentioned this to you before, Venus in Leo is on center stage. It has this certain look. It's aesthetically pleasing. It's beautiful, and bold, loud, big. So you may be attracted to those type of women, like the models. And this is also you. So for you the whole point of this, of astrology, of looking at this map, is to see these different aspects of yourself and be able to embody them all. So the things that I've covered so far with your moon, your rising sign, and now Mars and Venus, they're all aspects of you. And when you notice that you're like, yes, I do love looking at these models. I do love the way that I love to put them on the spotlight and make them stand out. That's cool. That's great. And to also know that this is you. Like when I see this, I'm like, oh, we got to get him more in the spotlight. He needs to be more in the spotlight. And like ways that you can, dress yourself to look a certain way, like a model yourself, for you to be the model of your life and to be on the center stage of your own life. Because what we need to do is have the Mars for you. It's the artist, the muse, the creative intelligence, and then your Venus, which is this aesthetically pleasing model on the center stage. We need to get them both in equality so that they're both lifted up together, merging them within yourself. And I think I think it's in chapter 4 that you're going to find a chapter about the sacred marriage, where you actually unite your inner feminine and inner masculine together, so that you're full of yourself. You're already Anything can be compatible with a person who is doing it all themselves. So that's the goal of looking at astrology, is like finding all your archetypes and then being able to unite them within yourself so that you're not needing to get things from the outside. Like, oh, well, this is the person that makes me feel alive. This is the person that makes me feel loved. This is the person I like to cook with. This is the person. It's like you're able to recognize all of those things for yourself. And then it's just nice to have that on the outside, but you don't feel obsessively needy of that thing. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stop there for now. So we covered the moon, the rising sign, Venus and Mars, and I'll cover more later if you're interested. So thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.